Well, as we all know, LeBron James has been a pathetic, ring-chasing, coward mercenary throughout the vast majority of his entire NBA career, as he has shamelessly catapulted himself to one stacked super team after the next, prostituting his way to an embarrassment of roster riches on every team he's been on since his aged 26 season. When after back-to-back years of miserable playoff failures, where despite stealing consecutive league MVPs and having the best record in the entire NBA, James flamed out in the East Finals in 2009 and the East Semis in 2010, only to watch the real best player of that era win consecutive championships against the two teams that sent Bron home for the season. And LeBron decided to break the league in the wake of Kobe winning that fifth title due to a sheer fit of desperation over the realization that Bron and the rest of that broke-ass, pitiful era of superstars could never live up to the legends of previous eras without taking the easy way out, colluding and rigging the system. We know as much because Wade recently admitted it himself in a recent roundtable discussion.
I remember cutting my TV off as soon as Kobe ran and grabbed that ball. I was like, LeBron.
All right, LeBron.
So what you gonna do?
That
was our summer free agency. They were dominating. Like, Kobe was winning all these rings. I was like, wait, hold on. Now he got 5 and we got 1? Like, no.
And much to the dismay of LeBron James and his band of sycophantic jock sniffers, Wade is continuing to run his mouth and expose the humiliating tactics of the King mercenary. With Wade recently hosting Chris Paul as a guest on his The Why podcast this week, and the two of them got pretty specific on a potential team-up in 2011-2012.
When Riley wanted to trade to bring you to Miami.
Absolutely.
You remember
we was talking about me coming to Miami. We was talking about who gonna have the ball in their hands, how it's gonna work.
We having a conversation.
Yep, we having a conversation.
Now, I know what you're thinking. Wade was playing with LeBron and Bosh at this time.
What?
Correct you are. This proposed team-up was on the heels of one of the most humiliating choke jobs in NBA history, which, truthfully, does deserve a deeper, in-depth look and in its own standalone video. But remember, in 2011, when at the time, back-to-back MVP LeBron slithered his way to South Beach to team with Wade and Bosh. You know, in response to that fifth title by Kobe in 2010, referenced by Wade in the aforementioned roundtable.
Kobe was winning all these rings. I was like, wait, hold on. Now he got 5 and we got 1?
Yeah, well, after LeBron, #1 overall pick in his 2003 draft, joined forces with the #4 and 5 overall pick from that same class, the three of them would proceed to come up hilariously short of winning the NBA title in their first season together in 2011. A series that, despite the mythos built up around Dirk Nowitzki and his albeit legendary performance in those playoffs overall, Wade was very realistically the best player in that series. As for as great as Nowitzki was in that series, averaging 26 points per game, 9.7 rebounds, and 2 assists on 41.6% shooting from the field, it was Wade who averaged more points, assists, blocks, and steals than Dirk on a substantially higher field goal percentage of nearly 55%. In addition to that, Chris Bosh was the third leading scorer in the series, dropping per game averages of 18.5 points and 7.3 rebounds, behind only Wade and Nowitzki in scoring. Alas, the heavily favorited Miami Heat juggernaut squad, who also had a 2-1 lead in this series, mind you, and a 9-point lead in the fourth quarter of Game 4 to give them a 3-1 lead, just couldn't overcome the bummish antics of LeBron James, who again was fresh off of those aforementioned back-to-back league MVP awards. And he was the 5th leading scorer in that series, behind Wade, Dirk, Bosh, and Jason Terry, who wasn't even a starter in that series. a 6'2", 33-year-old NBA journeyman bench player outscoring prime LeBron James in a 6-game NBA Finals series, despite playing nearly 70 fewer minutes, is the absolute textbook definition of a GOAT case death knell. And as if it wasn't bad enough, the Mavericks also deployed 5'10" JJ Barea on LeBron James defensively throughout the series, and James accordingly would record 0 total points in clutch time. And now we know, following that debacle, the Heat were in fact wheeling and dealing to bring on the point fraud himself in Chris Paul. And had it not been for a disagreement over a number, it would have happened.
Well, who gonna wear number 3? Silence. Riley didn't pull the trigger because CP wasn't gonna be able to wear number 3 because he couldn't Miami.
Trade was almost in Miami.
Whole trade.
Almost
because of the jersey number.
Of course, CP3 would go on that very season in 2011-2012 to be named first-team All-NBA with the Clippers. And you know LeBron is still pissed at Wade for putting the block on this near banana boat tandem mega super team in South Beach, which would have been a shocking and virtually unprecedented pairing even in this, the super team era. But as we are all very well aware of by now, you cannot put anything past the biggest coward ring-chasing mercenary in NBA history.